in Mexico City, and we're getting ready for introductions. Nestor Che Garcia is the coach for Venezuela, and he has been doing wonders with this team, while Sergio Valdeolmillos is the coach for Mexico. And they're starting introducing the Venezuelans. Venezuela is one win away from getting to the semifinals of this tournament. They can get it tonight against Mexico. It would be better, the sooner the better, right? But after that, they have two more chances to get those wins, either against Uruguay or Panama.
Venezuela trying to get its second Olympic berth. The first one was in 1992, so it's been 24 years for this Vino Tinto to try to make Olympics. Mexico, of course, has been waiting for 40 years as we get the introduction of the host team. And there's no doubt, Carlos, that momentum has been building in all of Mexico City. This team is slowly but surely captivating hearts and minds in Mexico City, especially the medias, which have heretofore ignored basketball, as there is no Mexico City pro basketball team in a city of 25 million. Talk about an opportunity. But the other question here is, are these guys winded, tired, exhausted?
They have been rotating between 7 and 8 players per game. And last night when they played Puerto Rico, they looked tired for a while, especially their main star and captain, Gustavo Ayón.
In hemispheric tournaments, Mexico leads Venezuela 3-2, and that includes the 1980, 1984, 1988 Tournament of the Americas. So it's an infrequent matchup at the hemispheric level. Sometimes Venezuela may miss a tournament. Most of the time in the history of these two, it's Mexico that's been missing tournaments, even though they've got 125 million in population, and they've got some pretty good infrastructure, and they do play basketball. As we now will listen to the Mexican national anthem. Well, actually, Venezuela. Gloria al bravo pueblo. Glory to the brave people. And now Mexicanos al grito de guerra, Mexicans to the cry of war, the national anthem of the United States of Mexico. When they interpret the national anthem, Carlos, Wi-Fi in this stadium almost collapses. Everybody's recording it on their mobile cell phone here in Mexico. It's a very big moment for people who love basketball. They have not seen a tournament like this since 1989, and they really probably haven't seen a team like this in who knows how long, maybe 40 years. And so for them in Mexico City without a pro team, this is it. They've been waiting and waiting. In some cases, Carlos, a whole generation has not seen basketball played at this level with this quality of team. But tonight they've got Venezuela, and Venezuela is out to hunt. As Reynaldo Mercedes from the Dominican Republic is on the right, American Anthony Jordan and Roberto Vasquez from Puerto Rico on the left, the officials for tonight's tilt. Venezuela has been very smart, Carlos, in spreading minutes. They don't have great shooters. They have rugged rebounders. They're not tall, but they're going to make up for that with incredible effort. And they have 3 point guards that can be used either 1, 2, or all 3 at the same time.
That's right, and they use every single player that they have in the roster. As we watch Mexico's roster, they have been playing 7 or 8 players per game. Israel Gutierrez played very sparsely last night, only a couple of minutes.
They felt that Puerto Rico with a small lineup, they were better off without Gutierrez on the court, so they really played with 7+ players. Adrian Zamora came in at the end and actually gave him very, very good minutes.
That's right.
Including a call that may have decided the game on a blocking offensive foul that he set up extremely well. Carlos, but this team is led by the trio of Gutierrez, Jorge Gutierrez, Gustavo Ayón, the captain, and Hector Hernandez, who had a breakout night last night, and all 3 will be starting today, along with Paco Cruz, and back out as a starter, he wasn't last night, Juan Anderson Toscano.
And Francisco Ruiz has been starting the last 3 games after Orlando Mendez got injured.
Mendez has some sort of hernia or muscle tear in the groin area, and everybody expected that he was not going to play the rest of the tournament. Valdeolmillos came out and said, that is not true. We may still see him. He wants to play. We'll see. As we take a look at the Venezuelan roster, the tallest player here, Miguel Marriaga, has a bulging disc in his back. Terribly ineffective here. He'll give him a few minutes to protect the rim. Won't even rebound that much. But take a look at Miguel Ruiz, Carlos. 17 rebounds. 17 rebounds for him in limited minutes in their last game against the Dominican Republic.
This is a team that is using the whole squad, the 12 players, although we see the starting 5 with John Cox playing the shooting guard or small forward position with Jose Vargas. Colmenares and Marriaga are the strong forward and center, and Gregory Vargas, Jose's younger brother, is the point guard. They have been using the whole squad for many games, and everybody has been contributing.
And this guy, they're going to build a statue of him in Venezuela if he keeps it up, Carlos. We all know that he's a quality coach. He's from Bahia Blanca, Argentina. This is now his 3rd national team that he's coached. Argentina, of course, Uruguay, and now Venezuela. But he's turned what essentially was Caribbean-style basketball into more South American basketball, partly because they do play in the region in South America, partly because they understand that having the kind of athlete that Venezuela has, better than the South American athlete, maybe not as well and as good as a North American athlete, is perhaps the right combination, the perfect combination, the perfect pitch to do what they can do.
That's right.
Mexico will be wearing red. They've got 3 colors. Venezuela will be white with gold and burgundy colors. And Reynaldo Mercedes will be in charge of the opening tip. Colmenares quickly gets a loose ball, and it's Venezuela's ball. The other thing about Venezuela, Carlos, the pace of this team. This team will not rush. It's the slowest in pace in the entire 18 tournament, with 71 possessions per 40 minutes. Colmenares with a hustle, offensive rebound, but again, Ayón provides the defense. Again, and another block, this time by Ayón.
Yeah, but Colmenares has been very active there.
When Venezuela plays Marriaga on offense, Carlos, they're essentially playing 4 on 5.
Yeah, that's the problem that they have with Marriaga. He's not giving them anything on the offensive end.
Cox looks for Marriaga, takes a runner, and he scores. And Venezuela is up ahead early. Mexico with the 2nd biggest net efficiency, the difference between the offensive efficiency and the defensive efficiency. Canada tops them, but they're second in the tournament. 6 to shoot. Bad pass, intercepted by La Bestia, the beast.
Great anticipation by Colmenares. That was a 1-3-1 zone by Venezuela. They were matching up out of that.
Pick and roll with Colmenares. Nice blitz by Mexico. No room in the baseline. Hernandez takes care of that. Grillito Vargas, the captain. Over to Cox again. Funky shot, and it's short and no good. And look at Marriaga hustle. Finally corrals a rebound.
Yeah, keeping that ball alive for his team.
Gregory Vargas launches, and it's good. 4-0 Venezuela. And they're completely out-rebounding Mexico. Mexico without a rebound so far.
And they will start the zone at half court.
Floater by Jorge Gutierrez. And Paco Cruz stepped on the line. A turnover by Mexico.
So
they're second.
Early in the game, Coach Nestor Garcia wants his team to mix up the defenses a little bit. They went to a 1-3-1 zone. Then after scoring, they went to a 2-3 half-court zone.
Is he the coach here in this tournament that does the most mixing and matching, Carlos, on defense?
I would have to think about that one, but I think he would be at least top three.
Top three, with Pitino probably thrown in there?
Right.
Aggressive pass, but it's tipped out by Hernandez, and now there's only 4 seconds to shoot. Valiolmillos has also changed the mentality of Mexico, Carlos, especially on the defensive end. Again, they can score off defensive deflections and steals and fast break, but that's not necessarily their style, and much less with a rotation of 7+ players. 2 to shoot. The floater. Rebounded by Ayon with authority.
Yeah. He went up for that one.
Gutierrez. Ayon, left alone the elbow, and it's tipped by Vargas. And here comes Colmenares. Lays it in.
Yeah, challenging Ayon. It was a one-on-one on that fast break, and Ayon just let him go.
And
he
that
didn't
is
want to commit a foul there.
The third turnover for Mexico. Marriaga being extremely physical with Ayon. And they're taking away the three-point shot early. They're extending that defense. Paco Cruz launches anyway. And it's in for the first points for Mexico. It's a 3-point Venezuelan lead. That booing is usually left for the early part of a possession, and then they kind of die down.
Right.
I don't know why. Colmenares with an open three.
He's not
short.
a three-point shooter, but he was wide open there.
Maybe for a reason. Gutierrez in traffic. Normally, very sure-handed. And a great defender. Ayon had a shot, Carlos, and another turnover this time. Juan Anderson, the latest addition to the group.
What Venezuela is doing, they are leaving Ayon all by himself from the free throw line. He's looking to pass first, and he's not even looking at the basket. He's wide open. He has been wide open twice already.
And the lanes are clogged as a result.
Like, for instance, he wanted to run that pick and roll extended with Hernandez. Now there were two guys surrounding Hernandez when he cut to the basket.
You know, we've talked about Ayon being a reluctant shooter, meaning he can shoot, he can score, but he's not going to typically score and really pull the offense this way. He may have to tonight, and he's tired.
Good anticipation there by Gutierrez.
A couple of guys were down in the lane. Grillito with a huge three.
That was long.
Rebounded by Anderson. Almost double dribbles. Inside to Virito Hernandez. Can't make the shot. Gregory blocked by Anderson. Get that out of here.
I mean, he wanted to take that shot between Ayon and Anderson Toscano.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, forget about it.
Becoming a New Yorker, Carlos.
Forget about it.
Ayon, baseline denied. He's got resources though. And now he takes a shot. It's contested by Marriaga. Marriaga's doing his job. Quick rhythm for Venezuela, Carlos, early. They're trying to get on top of Mexico, maybe get the crowd a little bit out of it. Not a big lead though. Round the horn. Marriaga with a screen. Offline, rebounded by Gutierrez. Chance at a fast break, and Gregory Vargas fouls him.
The crowd does not appreciate that, as we see the block by Anderson Toscano on Gregory Vargas trying to challenge the biggest guy on the court for Mexico and the best athlete at the same time.
Good luck. And here's the foul to stop the fast break. Substitutions, Graterol, Cubillan, and Dwight Lewis in for Venezuela. Very quickly, you'll see a lot of rotating.
It wouldn't surprise us, any of us, to see the 12 players see in action tonight for Venezuela.
Maybe Che Garcia will get in the court if he could. Paco Cruz, tough shot by Marriaga. Marriaga's playing great.
Great rebound by Graterol.
And you can see Marriaga just labor his way to either side of the court, but he's doing what he can.
Yeah, he's not giving them anything on offense right now, but he's a presence near the basket, and he got an offensive rebound for his team.
Look how much room they gave him. Go ahead, take a shot, Miguel. At 19, Miguel was one of the top prospects in Latin America. Cox misses.
As a matter of fact, there was a 19 and under tournament in Venezuela in 2002.
A hemispheric.
Yeah, tournament to qualify for the world, 19 and under.
A steal by Lewis all the way to the basket. No good. Ayon with great defense.
And even though Puerto Rico won that tournament unbeaten, and Venezuela came in second, as we see, oh, what a shot by Hernandez.
He was hot from outside yesterday. Today he's going in.
And I'm talking about a tournament where the U.S. had Carmelo Anthony, Puerto Rico had Jose Juan Barea. The MVP of that tournament, we're watching him, Miguel Marriaga.
Yep, played extremely well. Hernandez, 28 minutes, making 6 of 12 threes. Huge game against Puerto Rico. Graterol has to look at his dribble. Cubillan, it's good against Gutierrez. Cubillan playing limited minutes and giving up size, but he's very quick.
Great patience by Venezuela on offense. Almost on every single shot, they have taken the shot clock to 4 or 5 seconds.
Virito with a long three. He's picking it up where he left it off, and Nestor Garcia is so disappointed. He went 6 of 12 last night. That's uppermost on the scouting report, and very quickly we get a substitution. I think Cox blew that assignment. He may be coming out. We'll find out. Little motion to start. No pick and roll. Marriaga just retreated. Cox. Effort by Graterol, and it belongs to Venezuela. Just to go fight for that ball made Ayon touch it out of bounds, as indeed Cox and Marriaga will take a seat, and Bestia Comelares and Gregory Vargas will come in. Nice and easy, in rhythm.
Garcia very mad because somebody blew a defensive assignment.
It was
there.
Cox. It was Cox. Cubillan. Oh, outside a cutting. And then as he tipped the ball, so it's going to be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, he's better off picking it up.
Tie game. And hey, guess who came in? The sheriff. The sheriff. Paul Stoll.
Interesting dynamic between this guy and his coach last night.
They have great revolutionaries in Mexico. Of course, you know Pancho Villa, you know Zapata. You can add Paul Stoll to that list.
I was wondering why he wasn't invited at first.
That is a story we'll find out at some point,
Yeah,
Carlos, over some tacos in Mexico City.
I think I have an opinion about that, even though I don't know for sure.
Graterol could not keep verticality, and Ayon draws the foul. He'll go to the line.
Especially after seeing Stoll take the board away from his coach last night and diagramming the play.
In the critical timeout.
Yeah, and then after that, the coach saying, no, that's not what we're going to do. And guess what? They ran out of time. And when they ran out of time, they went out to the court. No play to run. So he said, you know what? Give me the ball 34 feet away from the basket. I'm going to hit a three-point shot, and we're going to win this game.
To ice the game. Simple. He makes the first. Ayon has been having a simply wonderful tournament. You had some major kudos for him in an earlier telecast. Right now, Gustavo Ayon is averaging almost 19 points, and he has 12 boards per game, flirting at one point with a triple-double. However, in his last game against Puerto Rico, his points were off. He had 9 rebounds, but you can tell he was laboring. And you can actually tell that tonight as well.
He was, yep.
He gives Mexico a 2-point lead. Gregory Vargas going around the world. Inside to Graterol. Jump stop. Nice move by Windy. Venezuela making some quick defensive transitions. No early offense for Mexico. Backdoor. Gutierrez with a beautiful fake. And he misses. Graterol showed up.
Good rim protection by Graterol there. Gutierrez is a little bit dejected.
He should. Tie game. Here comes Cubillan from way uptown.
I'm telling you, these guys are for real. They can play with anybody in this tournament.
Paco Cruz. Be playing in Latvia next year. VEF Riga. Beautiful shot. Can't make it. Nice defense by Graterol. And a gamble by Mexico. Here comes Cubillan.
Why not?
Bang! Timeout. Sergio Valdolmillos. Venezuela in absolute rhythm. Up by 6 against Mexico's tough defense.
They are the most patient team in the tournament. You just mentioned it. They can run with you if you let them do it.
First the top of the key 3 and then the transition 3.
Look at this. In the first 4 seconds of the possession, a 3-pointer.
6-point Venezuelan lead, and vamos, come on, says Sergio Valdolmillo. Timeout Mexico.
Situaciones muy claras que estamos jugando de bloqueo directo, de poder llegar correcto, pero hay que acompañar para el rebote ofensivo y tal. No puede ser un 1 contra 0. ¿Vale? Ellos se van a cerrar en una penetración, necesitamos un pase más. Si llega a la culminación, necesitamos rebote ofensivo, pero necesitamos construir más. Y además, si desajustamos, pero que la agarre. Allá sigo jugando.
We saw the very tail end of a Garcia's timeout. Valdolmillos was trying to settle down his team and saying, just play basketball, make the extra pass. Don't let him go 1-on-none on fast breaks.
Yeah, defensive balance is at the most for them. And then he said, hey, we're having some good actions of pick and roll and attacking the basket, but it's 1-on-1 because we're not following our teammate for the offensive rebound. We must do that. And let's make the extra pass. One more pass when playing at half court.
That's one of the great delights of this tournament, the ability to listen in on timeouts. Sure, some Louisville Card fans have enjoyed Rick Pitino coaching Puerto Rico and listening to what he has to say in the huddle, in the heat of things. That's Adrian Zamora. Had not played much in the tournament. As a matter of fact, debuted last night, played some sparse minutes. He's coming out early.
He played very well last night.
Gabriel Giron also in the game. Cruz with a nice weak side shot, but it's short again, and Colmenares grabs the rebound.
Yeah, Venezuela is letting Mexico take one shot, and that's about it.
They have enough of a threat, of a whiff of a threat of a three-pointer by their big man that you have to honor that. Cesar Garcia in the game. Launches the three, tipped back by La Bestia, rebounded by La Bestia, grabbed by the Beast again, stripped by Stoll. And Dwight Smith thought he had a shot. He goes, no, we're going to pull it out. Be patient again.
4 seconds on the shot clock again.
Tough shot by Smith, no good by Lewis, rebounded by Zamora. And another quick foul by Cubillan to stop the fast break.
So they are not even letting Mexico run. Venezuela stopping the fast break with what we call the FIBA foul, the European foul.
Now, Javinher Vargas comes into the game. Kid whose story is unbelievable. He's 25, Carlos. He averaged 4 minutes per game. The Spanish coach in his Venezuelan league team basically had him in the doghouse. Nestor Garcia saw his size. He said, let's bring him to a tryout. And basically he won the spot on the team.
He has been making shots in this tournament, especially against Puerto Rico. He was instrumental in their win with his three-point shooting.
I mean, clearly the Cinderella, but without the glass shoes. 7 to shoot. Vargas guarding Cruz.
Great defense by
Tough
Vargas.
shot by Hernandez, no rim. Oh, a putback at the buzzer by Giron. What effort by Gabriel. Vargas lines up a late shot, and that is the end of an exciting and low-scoring first quarter. The Venezuelan, with a couple of threes at the end and a 6-0 run, take a 4-point lead, 16-12, over host and unbeaten Mexico. As we take a look at first quarter stats, look at Mexico's interior shooting, Carlos. They were the masters of the cutting through the baseline to make the easy layup a couple of games ago. Now they can't buy a basket down there. Venezuela's not allowing those passes. I mean, you can step into the paint, you're not going to get the ball because the pass will be threatened by a litany of arms. As we take a look at the scoring, Cubillano off the bench with 8 points. I told you about the point guards. We haven't even seen the third one, Aizsar Guillén, who had a half-court heave in his last game. Hernandez leading Mexico with 5 points. Images of FIBA past, and as we look at Mexico and Venezuela, images of FIBA future. 4-point Venezuelan lead alongside former Puerto Rico national team head coach Carlos Morales. I am Alvaro Martin. Welcome again to the Palacio de los Deportes. Again, you may see some empty seats here, but they're all sold out. The scalpers have kept the rest with a 20-to-1 street price to ticket face value ratio. That's holding steady, and actually they're making more sales. A foul as Miguel Ruiz enters the game and tangles with Ayón. $14 seconds to shoot. Ayón.
I think that was a good acting job by Ayón.
Wow! Let me flush that ball down. Let me get into the scoring column. Not from the free throw line.
Hey, watching the replay, Ayón tangled with Ruiz's arm, and he got the benefit of the call. That was a veteran move on the youngster.
Guillén on the court now, stifling traps. 2 to shoot. He got to shoot. He launches. Bang! I drew that one up.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to be good and you got to be lucky sometimes.
What's better, to be good or lucky?
It's better when you're both.
Sometimes you can't be. Let's see. Mexico down by 5. Their biggest deficit. A strip by Guillén.
The third point that you were just mentioning.
Numbers. Oh, no. Gregory's going to feel it again.
See that?
Long rebound, and look at him get his own rebound on the other side of the court.
Now he had all the time in the world for that three-pointer, and he couldn't make it.
But you saw that the tired legs for Mexico, nobody really could hustle in as Graterol dives all the way into the gut of the Mexican defense. Those are little signs of fatigue, Carlos.
Yes, you're right about that.
Little contact. Guillén stays upright. No blood, no foul. Oh, there's a foul there, and he doesn't draw with a strong hand. Girón himself coming off injuries, and there's a reason. Let's go look at this long three at the end of the possession. There's a reason, Carlos, why, and the drive up the gut, nice floater by Graterol. There's a reason why Mexico's using a short rotation. They're injured. Perimesa is out. Not only a great point guard, but also essentially almost like an extension of the coach on the court. Mendes is out. Girón is coming off an injury. Paco Cruz is now quite a few weeks away.
But see, Cruz and Girón
coming off an injury.
They have been playing. They are part of the rotation.
Girón on the free throw line, also coming off an injury. Hernandez came off an injury that he incurred in the first game in Toronto.
In that case, you know, they should be able to use more players to give rest to those guys that are coming off injuries.
Not if you've got severe pressure. Pressure that, by the way, got to Sergio Valdolmillos at the end of the game against Brazil, the game they won. He didn't get a timeout call he wanted. That's a travel. No, it's a foul.
Before that.
Valdolmillos was so upset that he couldn't get his foul because he wanted to boost the goal differential, the point spread, that he had some very harsh words for the FIBA scorers table and then for FIBA officials outside of the game. in like 3 or 4 different episodes, and that was good enough for an $8,000 US dollar fine and a suspension for a game. The assistant Ramon Sanchez Diaz replaced him for 1 game, and they beat Panama without Valdelmillos. Again, nice pick and roll, nice extra pass. Outside to Cubillan, the hot hand.
That's the patience that we have been talking about.
And again, Carlos, you see a foul by Ruiz. Another foul that Ayon picked up from the opponent by sheer experience and guile.
That's exactly right. He gets the loose ball.
If he sees it's going to be contact, all right. Let me lift my arms and really hook his arm,
Right.
and I'm going to get the foul. Carlos, that 4th and 5th foul you saw in that last versus Venezuela, when was the last time you saw that consistently by the Vinotinto?
Well, they started being a better team in terms of moving the ball and being patient.
As they play a zone now, their open shooter is Giron, and he threads the needle.
They started doing that in 2013, 2 years ago when they had the tournament at their place. Another tournament that Gravis Vasquez didn't play. In that case, he was injured.
Zamora with the hustle. He's also coming off an injury. A persistent right foot injury on his bone.
Colmenares left the shooter and went to the corner. I don't know what was that about the matchup zone.
Again, reversing to the weak side. Rebounded by La Bestia. Cubillan. Again, maybe a couple of years ago, Cubillan would have launched. Today,
Right.
he's been drilled. He's been prepared. He gets the game on a more broad basis. Nice pass inside. Nice fake. And is rewarded by a lucky bounce. 5-point Venezuelan lead.
But that team from 2013, Alvaro, was too dependent on Donta Smith offense. And
They did not have Gravis Vasquez there either.
exactly.
A floater right. Gutierrez, and it's true when he gets a foul. It's going to be a foul in Mexico, though.
This team doesn't have Gravy, does not have Dante Smith, Luis Betelmi, who's injured, Echenique, who's injured, and the ball moves so well. Everybody's contributing. There's not a main scorer on this team.
Offensive foul on Ayon. Hernandez will come in. Zamora will take a seat. The basket counts, though, by Gutierrez. Little 3-man game up top. They run Cubillan through the screens. 10 to shoot. Launches. Got that all. And again, Ayon is having everything he can handle with the beast.
So tonight, that rotation of Sergio Valdelmillos has expanded to 9 players already.
Nice step back shot, but Gutierrez can't finish, and the ball goes out of bounds off the fingertips of Colmenares.
The only player who's healthy and available to play tonight and hasn't seen action right now is Israel Gutierrez.
A product of the Mexican equivalent of the NCAA, the ABE, a league that's actually started recently and flourishing tremendously, growing tremendously in Mexico. Baseline drive by Ramos, and he steps on the line.
Yeah.
Marco Ramos playing important minutes. He's a rugged player. How long before Marcos and a Venezuelan player tangle? What's the over-under on that one?
Well,
2 minutes?
Maybe a couple of minutes, yeah.
He's not a dirty player by any means. He's just rugged. Yeah, he stepped in line. Great shot by the camera crew here from FIBA. Cubillan off the Colmenares screen. Short, rebounded by Giron. Gutierrez driving baseline, there was help there. Marco Ramos, short. And here comes Venezuela. Up front to Cox, he's got Cubillan. Oh! Surgical slap out by Gabriel Giron. The surgeon strikes again.
You see that one again. Yeah, all ball. All ball on that slap.
Bang. Nailed it. 20 to shoot, though, on that early fast break by Venezuela. Plenty of time.
The guard better come and get that ball from Graterol.
Mexico extending that defense. There are some back doors open, although Yon is patrolling. A floater by Colmenares, short. Rebounded by Anderson Toscano.
Another opportunity for Mexico to get closer or tie the game with a three-pointer.
Toscano drives, dribbling left. Outside, tipped by Graterol. It's just bad business as Colmenares misses the bucket, and so does Graterol, and he's fouled by Anderson. Wow. 3 shots.
Anderson just pulled him so that he wouldn't get another opportunity. That's a shot by
2.
He was going for the third when he got fouled.
But again, Hernandez didn't react. Gutierrez didn't show up. I didn't see a Yon in the picture. A sign of fatigue.
Now this is a game that the team from Puerto Rico and team Dominican Republic are watching with great expectation.
They're cheering for Mexico.
Yeah. As long as Venezuela doesn't win another game, they are still alive in their quest to get to the semifinals.
Foul by Giron, and they would hope on paper, and paper is worth the paper that it is, Carlos, but on paper that Mexico being a team that's unbeaten, that they will take care of Venezuela in this game.
Yeah, as soon as Venezuela wins one more game, that means that the best that Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico can do is
the last chance qualifier.
Finish 5th, yeah.
One of the 3 held around the world with a new FIBA format for last chance qualifying. Vargas misses, rebounded by Toscano. Hernandez wanted an alley-oop, but Vargas denied that. Here comes Gutierrez, he lost the handle, and Vargas creates the rebound and the box out at the same time.
Hand off is what Coach Garcia is asking for, and he then ends up with a pick and pop. Yeah, pick and pop because Vargas is a great shooter.
Corners pass. Vargas misses.
That's great offense right there. Even though they didn't finish with the basket, great offense.
Ayon loses the handle. It's back in Venezuela's hands. They do have numbers. Cubillan to Javier Vargas for 3. Too long.
He's off tonight.
And it's last touched by Anderson. It belongs to Venezuela. 3-point difference. It's been a struggle to score in the second quarter. The score for the quarter is 8-7 Mexico.
And now Venezuela is only 3 for 17 from three-point range, 18%. Mexico haven't shot that much. They're only 5 shots, but they made 3 out of 5 for 60%.
You know, Mexican fans had a cardiac-like game last night against Puerto Rico. They may be getting another one as Cox dribble drives, and it's in!
Nice shot by Cox.
He fell awkwardly. He may have banged a foot or his shoulder as he comes up in some pain. Probably the biggest pain is the fact that he didn't get the call for a foul. He's touching his back, right hip or buttocks. What a shot by Giron! And it's the second time that Colmenares can't close out on a really good shooter by Mexico.
But I think that that was Vargas, Jose Vargas, who missed that assignment.
And Colmenares made up for it?
Yeah.
Jose Vargas, baseline drive. Cox. Wow, he had to corral the pass that wasn't centered, readjust, and make the shot.
Right.
It's back to a 5-point Venezuelan lead. Gutierrez going to a strong hand, driven left. Tough shot, a lot of one-on-one. He puts it back, but I'm not sure. I know that Valdez appreciates the points, but not the style or the scheme.
Well, he does want his team to attack the offensive board.
A whistle and a foul on Paco Cruz.
And Paco is hearing it from his coach. And Paco is
talking back to his coach.
Wow. That was a pass by Vargas to Cox at the corner. Great shot by Cox.
And now we have a timeout after all. With a 3-point Venezuelan lead, 2:27 to go in the first half.
Go, man. Go. It's just man.
say, Menemen, we stay Menemen. Coach, listen. No, now listen. Forget about it. Listen. 1-on-1. The point guard going to play 1-on-1. He stay with his guy. Me quedo con él. You stay with his guy. Don't let me die. Stay slowly like a play out. You know what I mean? Because he's right. He's right. Hey, un poco para dar. One foul to beat.
What's interesting about the timeout is you got Lewis and Cox, whose native language is English, although both were born in Venezuela, I should add, Carlos. But the timeout was held in English, and the other Venezuelans understood. I guess basketball is more international than I thought.
It is. Now, the misassignment on that prior play, it wasn't Jose Vargas. It was Cox who was guarding zone when everybody else was man-to-man. So that was something that Nestor Garcia wanted to make clear to Cox.
He told him, don't worry about it, partly because he got to make some free throws here. He wanted to have a clear mind.
He said, hey, listen, 5, which is the matchup zone. We're only in 5 when I say so. If not, we're man-to-man.
Cox, everybody knows him in Venezuela as Kobe Bryant's first cousin. He plays in France, does very well, has a nice career going on in French basketball in the Pro A League. Misses the second, and Ayon grabs the rebound.
He's mad at himself for missing that one. He's a very good free throw shooter.
He's a little lost on the defense, looking at Nestor out of the corner of his eye. Ayon, 9 to shoot. Again, provokes the contact, gets a foul, go to the line. Why not? The captain, Gustavo Alfonso Ayon Aguirre, was born in the west coast town of Nayarit in Mexico, where they held the Centro Basket. Can you imagine, you're so important to Mexican basketball that Mexico claims the site for Centro Basket and they play it in his hometown. So he can spend the nights eating home cooking by his mother, lovely mother. He played for Puebla in the college basketball league here, just southeast of Mexico City, and won 2 championships. He enrolled at San Jose State to play, Carlos, but he was so homesick, he came right back.
And then he played in the professional league for a couple of years with Halcones de Jalapa.
Yep, he did. 2 seasons. Ended up that second season, with Marinos y Anzuategui in the Venezuelan league. So he knows some of these players from then. He misses a second shot. Backdoors are there. If Venezuela is very careful. Barriaga on the court trying to screen off Giron. Cox, floater. Tough shot, and it's good. What a shot by Cox.
Another late shot clock shot.
Cold blood, Carlos. And one specialty of Argentine teams coached by Argentines is the way they close quarters. Let's see if Venezuela, who's already up by 5, can close the half against Mexico well. Hernandez hasn't taken a shot in a long while. Gutierrez dribble drives. Wow. Offensive foul. Gutierrez is out of control right now on offense.
And Marriaga sacrificing his body.
With that bulging disc.
Yep. Getting there on time to throw the charge. There was no doubt about it because the 3 referees called it at the same time. That's Nestor Garcia helping the referees in case that there was any doubt.
Cheerleader number 1.
And referee number 4.
He's reminding them about screening. That's one area also, Carlos, that Venezuela has improved noticeably. It really helps their shooters, makes them better shooters. Here comes Vargas, and without a screen against Pirito Hernandez. The captain scores from way, way outside.
And Venezuela goes up by 8. Dangerous territory for Mexico in a game where points have been at a premium.
Last minute of play. Ayon against Marriaga. He looks at the clock. Hook shot, short.
Oh, Vargas is all by himself, and Luis didn't see him.
Let's go execute in the half court. Nice screen by Marriaga. Just what I was talking about. And Alvarez knows he's in a battle right now.
Yeah, they didn't get the layup, but they got a point more with a three-pointer.
Venezuela has been dictating in the second quarter.
Garcia wants his defense to collapse inside.
Elbow jump shot. It's in for Jorge Gutierrez. 7 seconds now. And a timeout by Nestor Garcia as his team is up by 9 after the Gutierrez shot. Gutierrez now with 6 points for the Mexicans. Look at the screen again. And Cox is a great shooter from that left side, Carlos. He's proven that point today.
That was a bad closeout by Toscano.
Let's listen in.
David White.
Queda mucho.
Go screen to David.
I consider Nestor Carlos the sort of human being that has transcended his origins. He proves it by being the national team head coach of 3 countries, 3 very different countries. Although you can say Uruguay and Argentina are the same, I believe takes a special gift to do that. You don't have to even talk about his coaching credentials. I just think that he really has made such a cultural change in Venezuela, and this team is playing with blinders on. They're not even looking at the score. They're not looking at the game ahead. They're having fun. Things are working out. They're just keeping up with the plan. Look at Cubillan crossing over Ayon. Misses the shot, and that is the end of the first half.
That was a good shot, even though Cubillan wasn't able to make it.
37-28, a 9-point Vino Tinto lead. Venezuela playing with a bunch of youngsters and a bunch of guys that have tremendous faith in the scheme, in the coach, and a lot of momentum. Let's see if Mexico can stay unbeaten. Mexico has not crossed the 16-point barrier in either quarter, and they look absolutely out of sorts, Carlos. And you can say about they're tired, and they are, but it's amazing. What is amazing about them, I think, is that they're the sort of passes that worked up until this point in the tournament. They tried making them early on. They ended up in turnovers. They're very hesitant right now.
And being tired can be an excuse, but they are just being outplayed by Venezuela in the first half of this game.
And so they're reverting back to the little bit of one-on-one, try to get some points after Venezuela goes on a 5-point run, 6-point run. And that's not Mexico's usual game. Venezuela has taken Mexico's primary option. Ayon started the game at the top of the key, and there was absolutely nowhere for him to go with the ball.
They were letting him take shots if he wanted to, but he couldn't pass the ball to open people because there were no open people.
Does that remind you of teams that take away the opponent's best weapon and makes them uncomfortable? Look at that. Mexico has 10 turnovers and Venezuela with only 1. Big difference in the game. What does that remind you of?
Well, I think that teams that have good scouting reports and try to take away the first option, like Argentina, for instance, they play very similar to what Venezuela is doing right now. They know what Mexico wants to do, and they force them to do something else.
Do your second best. Plan B better be ready, because Plan A will be taken out completely. And so it makes Mexico extremely uncomfortable as we see the rebounding battle. Colmenares with 8. Gutierrez, the point guard, leads with 5 for Mexico. So it is a 9-point lead for Venezuela. And Mexico's unbeaten record in this tournament is absolutely in danger. Venezuela leading in points in the paint with a +4. Second chance points for Venezuela, +6. Bench points, +3. As we take a look at first half highlights, Gregory Vargas, he can shoot without a screen, he can shoot with a screen. Colmenares, right up the gut against after the turnover by Anderson. Nice and easy bucket for La Bestia, the Beast.
Marco Cruz with a long three-pointer. And then Hernandez with a left hook after a spin. He had a great game against Puerto Rico last night. He has been trying to carry the offense in this game also for Mexico.
Mexico's only attempted 6 3-pointers in the game, Carlos. That was a big weapon for them against Puerto Rico. Maybe we'll see some more of that in the second half to open up Venezuela.
Yang came off the bench and made some shots also.
Tough shot by Hernandez, and there's Gabriel Giron.
Giron was the best scorer, and he came off the bench for Mexico with 9 points.
One more dunk against the Beast.
9 points for the captain.
Huge three at the end of the possession by Vargas. Going to rescue that possession. Another shot, a three by Giron. Fast break, slapped out by Giron. Yes, it's the Gabriel Giron segment of the show right now.
And then Cox with a great drive to the basket.
And he started getting hot at that point of the game.
Giron again, in the corner. And Cox at the end of the possession with a great pass by Vargas.
Another long three. They made 6 out of 20. 23 pointers by Venezuela. It's their defense that's made the difference in this game. And that's why they're up by 9 at half. We'll be back with the third quarter here at the Palacio de los Deportes, a thriller between Venezuela and Mexico.
Ok, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de Cool Light, señores. ¿Dónde está el ánimo esta noche de los mexicanos? ¡Que se vea toda la porra mexicana, señores! Ahí van saliendo ya las chicas que traen los banderines de todos los equipos que están participando. Y ahí viene ya, aquí está JJ. Un aplauso, damas y caballeros, para JJ. Y aquí está Mati. Va a empezar a regalar las playeras y también las chicas de Cruise Line, las Rocky Mountain. ¿Dónde quieren las playeras? Aquí, a ver, vamos a empezar en esta zona. Vamos a ver si las damos aquí en medio o hasta atrás. ¿Cómo grita la gente de aquí abajo? Y allá hasta atrás. De este lado, aquí en la esquina, a ver. Vamos a empezar aquí en la esquina. Se fue muy arriba. Tiro mediano, tiro mediano. De este lado. Y de allá, ¿cómo están? Mira, Mati está gritando más de este lado. A ver, vamos de este lado. Está gritando más. ¿Cómo gritan de este lado? ¡En medio! ¡En medio! Eso que va hasta el fondo de esta esquina, ¿cómo está? ¡No los escucho! Donde más esté gritando la gente, las chicas también van a vender las playeras. ¡No gritan más! A ver, aquí abajo. Va. Mira, allá nos están haciendo la señal con el celular. Ahí. Al celular, Mati, al celular. Vamos a ver qué tan buen tiro tiene Mati. Y ahora sí le falló. Ahora sí le falló. Ya. Los quedamos cerca, mírenlo bien. Recuerden que Curse Live es patrocinador oficial de este torneo de América FIBA 2015. ¿Dónde? Ahí están prendiendo ya los celulares. Muy bien. Chicas, donde vean celulares, miren, ya están prendiendo las luces. Nos están haciendo la señal. Es la Curse Signal. A ver, ¡ay, así me gusta! Todo el mundo está prendiendo los celulares, a ver. Luces. ¿Dónde hay celulares? ¿Dónde hay más celulares ahí prendidos? Así ya no gritan. Ya son los alumbran. A ver, ¿dónde? ¡Ay! Toda esta zona ya tiene celulares prendidos. Todos los que tienen celulares. Aquí abajo. Abajo. Chicas, afuera de la cancha. ¿Dónde va? Lanza, va. A ver, ¿dónde van los celulares? Vamos a los celulares, gracias. Ven más. De este lado, ¿dónde? Aquí va, ¿cómo gritan ustedes? No pueden seguirnos en la página de Facebook que estamos con el Curse Live México para que se enteren de todas las promociones, todo lo que estamos haciendo. ¿Quién dijo yo? Nos quedan dos disparos. La chica puede ganar, señores, síguele a la chica. A ver, chica, número más gritos, más gritos, hasta arriba. Aquí abajo, hasta arriba. Va, DJ, recuerda, apunta. Está vibrando. ¿A dónde lo tiro, gente? ¿Para dónde va? De este lado. Allá en la esquina. Gracias. Allá arriba. Hasta arriba. ¡Estos sí son mexicanos! Ok, señores, vamos a seguir con el partido. Muchas gracias. Esto es Curse Live.
We hold dear. A value that defines a uniquely Japanese approach to service that we embody. A value that keeps passengers smiling. Hospitality from the heart. It's our heritage. Japan Airlines.
We welcome you back to the second half. Venezuela with a 9-point lead. Points are scarce. Venezuela's defense is proving to be tremendous. Mexico has not taken too many outside shots. They've made the few that they've had. We have not seen Paul Stoll. We have not seen a streak of 3 points, 3-point shooting. We may see that. That may be one of the keys here. Carlos, clearly Mexico at this point would love to get the 2 points. And remember, a second win by Mexico would give it 10 points and basically assure a minimum of 12. And that would basically assure you a slot on the Friday semifinal. Wants to win this game and just get it over with. So they really want to win this one. But for that, their defense has to step up a notch. As we see UC Richards, the president of FIBA Americas from the U.S. Virgin Islands, former USVI Federation head, watching on with great interest. The second half starts alongside former Puerto Rico national team head coach Carlos Morales. This is Alvaro Martin. Venezuela proving some points, Carlos, as we look at their points per possession in the first half. Colmenares misses the first shot of the second half.
Yeah, they had 37 points in only 34 possessions, while Mexico had 28 points in 32 possessions. In other words, Mexico had less than 1 point per possession. That was great defense by Venezuela.
Toscano driving with his left hand all the way in for the youngster. All around the horn. Now Venezuela brings it up court slowly. You see the big men for Venezuela not even get on offense yet.
Mexico starts by putting more pressure on the point guard, trying to deny the ball.
They ISO'd for Cox, not there. They switch. Toscano guarding the beast. Cross-court pass to a cutting Vargas. Outside for Gratero. Rebounded by Vargas. Right in front of Jorge Gutierrez. Normally that's a Gutierrez rebound.
And Nestor Garcia wants them to go back and reset the offense.
Inside, Colmenares stripped by Zamora, who opened the second half. Paco Cruz over to Toscano, but there's a foul to stop the fast break. The foul is on Grillito Vargas, the brother of Gregory Vargas.
Very interesting starting five for Mexico in this second half. Gustavo Ayon is just cheering his team from the bench.
Yep. And you know Venezuela has taken out the crowd out of this game for the moment. Inside to Hernandez, out to Anderson. Anderson has no confidence in an outside shot. He's blocked by Colmenares. Here comes Venezuela. Cox can't find the handle. Drives to the basket, and it's in!
He fumbled the ball at first, but then he gathered the ball and was able to drive to the basket hard.
Ayon is sitting at the other end of the Mexican bench, at the far end of the Mexican bench. See a foul by Cox. No basket for Zamora. Zamora is a 29-year-old center in the Mexican League, born in Watsonville, California, the youngest of 5 kids. Parents migrated to the U.S. from Michoacan. And guess what? Zamora, we mentioned last night, was a wide receiver in high school. When he outgrew the position, he said, okay, I guess I'm a basketball player now. Hernandez driving right. Graterol. He slipped again on the decal.
This is starting to become an issue.
We didn't see any in last night's doubleheader, but we saw a Canadian slip, none other than Andrew Wiggins, and now we see Virito slip as well. Same decals used in the States, manufactured by 3M. Oh, wow, that hurts. But it came right back to Vargas, who was standing out of bounds. Vargas complaining that Paco Cruz pushed him. Paco Cruz will have a well tomorrow, but it's a worthy one. He'll get possession. Pressure on Gutierrez.
Almost 5 seconds.
Toscano looking for an opening on the dribble. Again, those passes inside are not there. Venezuela will allow the shot, and Toscano is now taking advantage of it.
You're right about that. What they're doing is giving them the outside shot as long as they cannot make that pass high-low or those cutting guys towards the lane.
Which helps Mexico either get offensive rebounds, cut to that baseline, their bread and butter, their plan A. Well, start making some shots outside.
Bad possession now for Venezuela.
Oh, he's not going to shoot on time.
That's a bad possession because Graterol, who's not a great offensive player, had that ball with 5 seconds on the shot clock. You should be able to have the ball in the hands of your shooters with 5 or less seconds on the shot clock.
Miguel Ruiz goes back to the bench. And Javinger Vargas, and he comes the outside shooter I was talking about. He's handling the ball right now. One of our Mexican press basketball hoop colleague, Carlos, confessed to us this morning, I've been watching that shot a couple of 100 times. Cruz misses, rebound by Vargas, and he landed awkwardly. Uh-oh. Quickly, we have Grillito Vargas alert the medical staff.
Cruz missed the jump shot, and
he twisted his left knee very awkwardly.
Yeah, that he did.
Although he's lifting his right leg. Team Doctor Juan Leticia on camera, helping Vargas. Now the trainer Carlos Sarmiento comes out again. By the way, these two have been mentioned to me often by the Venezuelan team as great contributors. A team, Carlos, that has been, oh wow, he can't even put any weight on that right knee. Terrible. This young man has had quite the tournament. Opened so many eyes. This is the Cinderella story. Hopefully he'll be back.
He could be getting a big contract out of this tournament.
Right now, he's not thinking about that.
He confided on Coach Nestor Garcia that he was thinking about retiring because he was only seeing about 4 minutes of action in the Venezuelan league, and he was not being paid as much as he thought he was going to get paid as a professional player.
Vargas back to Colmenares. He got shoved, and he gets the bucket.
Yeah.
Everything working out for the Vinotinto.
How about that balance by Colmenares? He got pushed, and he still got the ball up with his left hand. And only he's going to make a trip, with his right hand, I'm sorry. Make a trip to the free throw line, but he got the 2 points.
Nice touch, going left with his right hand.
Yeah.
Venezuelan players are huddling, and if they do that, they can have a timeout call. Colmenares makes the shot. A 9-point Venezuelan lead. That is not the largest lead. They were up by 11 at one point. Again, they're still looking to make interior passes, but they're not there. Anderson floats. It's in.
Nice move by Anderson.
It's that one-on-one game that he knows very well.
And he's getting more confident with his offense in the second half. A three-pointer already and that floater.
Now he's guarding Grillito Vargas.
Who's traveling all over the place, and the referee didn't call it.
A switch. Hernandez can't keep up, and rebounded by Stoll. Stoll, what?
He thought he got fouled, and he wanted to get 3 shots.
Instead, Venezuela comes the other way. And a putback by Dwight Lewis.
I thought he was a shooter. Now I know he's also a leaper.
Check those shoes.
Yeah.
It's got to be the altitude. As Ayon finally gets off the bench, and he's about to check into the game. About halfway through the third.
So a different approach by Coach Valdio Almillas, giving Ayon the rest at the beginning of the second half.
Giron. Tapped up underneath the net. You can do that, but over the rim, not from below. So that's a goaltend.
So essentially, Ayon had 20 minutes of rest. He had the whole halftime, which is 15 minutes, and then 5 minutes of playing time.
Yeah, that hand, that doesn't count. And I'm not sure that was going to be a bucket. Let's see. The hustle by Lewis trailing. Look at this. All right.
Wow.
Let me show you.
And now Ayon is banging Mariaga. That's a foul by Giron.
And that's exactly what Reynaldo Mercedes said and did. He 10 to shoot. Mariaga calls for it. Teammates ignore him. Vargas. Cross court. To Cubillan. He's got to launch it. He does.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
telling you, everything is working out.
Again,
Everything is working out for this team.
is it better to be lucky or than good or good than lucky?
I think tonight, you're right. Tonight, Venezuela is both.
Exactly.
As the young man takes a little medicine, a little water, a little aspirin. Yavin Vargas, 25-year-old. Cruz driving left, floater.
That's an offensive foul.
Yep.
Mariaga.
Second time
Yes,
in this
sir.
game with a bulging disc in his back.
So as I said, he's not going to give you much scoring, almost none at all. But he's going to sacrifice his body. He's going to give you extra possessions. And those are valuable.
Wow. A prayer here. Answered. Lewis drives. Here's Mariaga. Oh, I'm telling you, that's the end of the world. Mariaga scores against Ayon.
And he gets fouled too.
He had been 0 for 8 before this game. Mariaga scoring, we've seen it all.
That's
And
right.
maybe so has Mexico. As Valdeormillo calls a timeout, down 11, halfway through the third, and everything's working for Venezuela. And let me tell you something else, Carlos Morales. You know it very well. You were there coaching for a year. Venezuela is seen as 2 years. Venezuela is perceived as a baseball nation appropriately. They love basketball.
Necesitamos defensa de uno contra uno. Después de canasta convertida, estamos en defensa 2. Correcto, Polo y Jorge. Y atentos, muy activos 2. Muy activos Juan y Gabriel en llegar ahí a ayuda. Correcto. ¿Queda claro? Atento a las situaciones de rebote. Vale, adelante, en ataque, quiero jugar con cuerno. ¿De acuerdo? Quiero jugar con cuerno. Es jugar por el lado de 5, la situación de cuerno. Y buscar con Juan el valor interior. Y si no invertimos, y un balón más. Y creamos línea de pase sobre valor interior. ¿Vale?
Look at Juan Anderson. He's confused
Yes.
with that last sequence in which you saw Valdeormillo lift his pinky and index finger
That's
and
horns.
say cuernos.
Yeah, horns. Well, the first thing that he said was that they need to play more one-on-one defense. So they're going to go back to the 2 defense.
He's still in pain.
He's in pain, yeah. And then on offense, they want to run horn and try to do it, run it the pick by on the 5 side. That means on Ayon's side. And reverse the ball, and if Toscano can drive to the basket, do so.
Mariaga to take a free throw. He misses. No surprise.
And now Venezuela is winning this quarter by 2 points.
Mariaga, a 56% free throw shooter. Here's the horns. Ali. Oh! Ayon is short, and a foul by Mariaga. So Ayon will go to the line.
Stoll just threw that ball up there, knowing that his teammate has a lot of leaping ability. If that wouldn't have worked, they were supposed to reverse the ball and get it to Toscano for the drive.
Ayon is favoring his right shooting hand, which is already bandaged at the wrist. Ayon Carlos had a wonderful season. Brought into Real Madrid alongside Argentinian national team member Chapo Nocioni and Facu Campazo. He and Nocioni brought tremendous ability, veteran savvy, but most importantly, toughness. And Real Madrid needed it. And the result was, let's see, they won the Copa del Rey, which is sort of the halfway point, an invitation for the top teams.
Before that, they won the preseason cup, then the Copa del Rey in the middle of the season.
Then they win the Endesa League itself.
No,
and then,
the EuroLeague first, and then Endesa League was the last one.
in other words, they won it all. As we see a little zone here. Thought the instruction was man-to-man. A strip by Stoll. Nice patience, and it's in. Good move by the king of the theft, Paul Stoll.
He usually when things start to turn in favor of Mexico is because Paul Stoll is involved.
I'm telling you, Pancho Villa, Zapata, and Stoll, chronologically.
So they show a 2-zone, but they are man-to-man on top. That was what Valdemillo was asking for, more one-on-one defense.
Cox, foul.
That was a bad foul by Giron.
Yes,
A very bad foul by Giron.
Three-point shooter.
On the last second shot,
His third.
out of position.
And Mexico is now over the limit anyway. Chance to build up on already an 8-point lead. Right in front of the ref. Right in front of Mercedes.
That doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, you play great defense for 22 seconds, and now a guy's going to take an ill-advised shot as we see Paul Stahl protecting the ball with his body.
Cox makes the free throw. Venezuela and Mexico in this game are shooting poorly from the line. Makes a second one. He's got another one coming. Cox right now with 17 points to lead Venezuela. Ubian with 10.
2 out of 3 for him.
For Mexico, Giron has 11. Ayon only 6. Ayon now with his 6th rebound.
Venezuela back to the matchup zone.
And he comes ball.
Yeah.
Score!
I think that, with Paul Stahl in the game, you should think long about that zone. And then after you think about it, don't use it.
Cubillan. Oh, a corner three.
What an answer for Cubillan.
Cubillan is just stroking it today. Getting longer minutes than usual in the tournament.
Again, back to the man-to-man. That's coaching right there. You set up the zone for a while, for a moment to see how it works.
Oh, Cox gambled. Back to Gutierrez. He hesitates. And he's
not a shooter.
short. Ayon with the rebound. He loses it though. He thinks somebody hit him, but he just lost the handle.
There was a reason why Gutierrez was open. He's not a shooter from three-point range.
Cubillan, is he going to launch a three? He does. Short. Another hustle play by Colmenares. Short. Anderson up front. Gutierrez all the way. Oh, goaltend by Grito Vargas. 2 points for Mexico and for Jorge Gutierrez.
Gutierrez came into this game shooting 13% from three-point range. 13.
Ayon is saying my right hand hurts because I got slapped in that play.
There's the goaltending right there.
The ball touched the backboard. Once that does, you got to let it go. If you're the defense, look at the backboard. That's it.
So back to a single-digit lead for Venezuela, 8 points.
Aizor Guillen back on the court. This is a 2-point guard lineup. These are the 2 reserves. What a luxury for Nestor Che Garcia. Crossover against Ayon. Turnaround, no good. Rebound by Ayon, and he's fouled.
He got another foul from another Venezuelan. So just moving his arms upward once he felt the contact.
It's the first team by Colmenares, and now Venezuela gets up into bonus territory with his 4th foul. Lewis comes in for Cubillan, so now we have 1 point guard and a little taller lineup.
Interesting matchup here. Lewis will have to try to stay in front of Jorge Gutierrez.
And Guillen will guard Stoll. Drives. Left-handed again. Ayon with the offensive rebound. He shoves somebody on the way to the basket. It's good. Colmenares saying, hey, wait a minute. He shoved me.
He got license to kill here.
Guillen pressured. Inside, outside. Cox moves out of the three-point line. Great move by Giron. 10 to shoot. Guillen. Lewis contested.
Great closeout by Gutierrez there.
Stoll. He doesn't even know what he's going to do. Easy layup. Paul Stoll for Presidente de Mexico. He's going to get some votes.
This guy wasn't on Valdemillo's plan. He just got called because Perry Mesa was injured.
He was part of the World Cup team, though.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he wasn't part of Valdemillo's plan.
A little too wild for the taste, but hey, They need him now. Guillén misses. Look at Colmenares' hustle, and it's a foul on Anderson.
And both teams are over the limit, so Colmenares will go to the free throw line.
Anderson committing his second foul. This is as loud as you'll see this crowd. And in this case, it's about the officiating.
That was a 2-on-3 fast break. 2 offensive players on 3 defensive players. Stoll was able to split the first line of defense, forced the last line to come at him, and then he was able to feed Jorge Gutierrez.
Very unfortunate slur.
Yeah.
There's a campaign in Mexico to get rid of that slur.
Yes.
At the moment, say that in soccer and football, a player from the opposing team will shoot a penalty.
Some people from basketball saying, please don't bring that. That belongs to football. If you want to keep it there, don't bring it to the basketball scene.
It's just too ingrained in Mexico. Of course, the same word being pronounced by the Mexicans, there's not a direct equivalent in the Spanish use in Venezuela, so they can't let it slide. Not quite the same word. They use a synonym. Same language, just different word usage. Foul by Graterol in any language on the drive by Gutierrez.
So now Gutierrez will go to the free throw line with less than 14 seconds to go in the quarter.
How good is Venezuela's defense? Well, they don't have a single player with 3 fouls at this stage of the game. End of the third. They move their feet.
But we have to say that Mexico is having its best offensive output by quarters in this third quarter.
And the reason is Mr. Stoll.
Mo Stoll.
The man who took the board away from head coach, and he started drawing some stuff, and then Millos listened to him for a couple of weeks. No, give it back to me. And then he drew something, and he ran out of time really to get a play. It didn't matter. Paul Stoll iced that game with a 3 against Puerto Rico last night. Marco Ramos will be coming in, and
check this. Mexico had 28 points in the whole first half. They have 23 points in this third quarter.
we still have almost 14 seconds before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be able to take any other shots. Mexico won if Venezuela plays it right.
The shooters are stationed where they need to be. Guillén. Oh, difficult shot! It goes in at the buzzer. He's becoming the specialist. Yesterday,
And
he had a half-court heave from the side against the backboard to close the first half.
Listen to this. They forced him left, which is what Canada did against him and had so much success. He went left, and still he was able to score.
Against none other than the best man-to-man defender Mexico has, Juan Anderson Gutierrez.
Okay, so we can say again, he was lucky this time.
A 6-point Venezuelan lead at the end of 3. What a game. As we take a look at the top scorers and rebounders, Colmenares already with 10 boards. He's working on a double-double. He's got 9 points. 23 points by Mexico with a 6-point Venezuelan lead. It's the first quarter that Mexico wins. Now as we enter the fourth, going to be interesting to see if they can keep it up. And if Venezuela can keep it up. I mean, we've talked about luck here, Carlos. Can you keep it up for another quarter? Another 10 minutes of basketball in the Wolves' lair, in the Palacio de los Deportes, sold out crowd, probably about over 15,000 here, with an unbeaten host. Venezuelans were very happy and they celebrated the win over Puerto Rico, a win in which they showed tremendous effort and determination to beat Puerto Rico and leave that behind. This would be quite the memorable win, Carlos. And they've had two now. They would have two in the tournament.
Again, this would be the win that would put Venezuela in the semifinals.
Gutierrez, tough shot against Gatterol, in and out. Rebounded by Cox. Now Mexico's really pressuring off the defensive rebound by Venezuela.
Back to the two-point guards lineup. Gregory Vargas check in for this fourth quarter.
Cox drives, pops, shoots, but doesn't score. Ruiz in the game. Very tenacious rebounder, knows his role, which is part of the success of this Venezuelan team. Ayon with a screen, Stall with a foul, and he gets it! He tried it before, it didn't work. It ended up actually costing Mexico. Now he gets a foul. He is so unpredictable.
He is.
It's a two-pointer, and now, or is it a three?
They want to check if it's a two-pointer or a three-pointer.
They're giving him a three right now. Looked to me like a two. And Nestor Gonzalez is not flashing the peace sign. He's saying, no, it's a two-pointer. As Reynaldo Mercedes will go take a look. Those of you who don't know Paul, close personal friend of 125 million Mexicans, born in Lansing, Michigan, 29 years old. Mother Carmen Hernandez, father Paul played basketball at Michigan State and coached them. He was called mid-August to this team. It's a three. Because of injuries to Paco Cruz in the ankle and to Gabriel Giron with a strain in the lower back. Played at University of Texas Pan American for 2 seasons, and then he turned pro in the Mexican League. Also played in Venezuela with Gigantes de Guyana for a couple of seasons. So he knows Venezuelan basketball. He knows some of these players. Cox drives, strong hand. Gregory repositions, so does Cox. Paul Stoll gambles. The floater, it's in for Gregory Vargas. It's a 4-point Venezuelan lead.
He took Stoll to the lane, and Stoll was just getting away from the defensive player. I wanted to commit a foul there.
Ayon grabs the ball near the basket, and he scores! I mean, he positioned himself. He took the Venezuelan defender.
That was too deep. I mean, Graterol has to work earlier before he gets that pass.
He pushed Graterol all the way to Puebla. Took him out of Mexico City on that post. A little zone by Mexico here. A launch, a miss, and a rebound by Cruz.
And Mexico can take the lead or tie on this offense.
Gutierrez drives, blocked by Ruiz. What an effort by Miguel. That's not being lucky, that's being good.
Yeah, you're right. Being aggressive.
Oh, no good by Grillito. A tap out by Ruiz. Graterol misses, puts back, misses. Ruiz again. Miguel Ruiz. Cruz, want to get a pick and roll going. They ISO him. They repost again against Cox, and Cox has no other alternative but the foul, Gustavo Ayon, and that is Venezuela's second in the quarter.
Now, when you see this kid, now on the pass of the foul to Ayon, you see this kid Ruiz dominating down low on the board. You cannot help but wonder, had Dante Smith, Echenique, or Betelmi been healthy and able to play.
And not even talk about Gravis Vasquez.
No, well, Gravy Vasquez is a guard. Somebody else would have been out. But I'm talking about front line players. This guy wouldn't have even made this team.
Echenique had plantar fasciitis. Betelmi had also an injury, pulled him out late. Miguel Ruiz is 24, plays for Trotamundos as well. And listen to this, Carlos, 22 minutes, 17 rebounds against the Dominican Republic. A one-man rebounding wrecking crew. Gustavo's ISO. Oh, the chair was pulled by Colmenares right at the right time in the fourth quarter.
He's smiling right now because he said, wow, I was able to do that to Gustavo Ayon.
Again, he's been holding that off until the fourth quarter. That's a veteran move.
Plenty of time for Venezuela
A
now.
little horns action. Vargas loses the handle. Got that all with 6 seconds to shoot. In and out. And the shots, the lucky shots that were made by Venezuela are not being made in this quarter. Whoa, what a foul. And it's an unsportsmanlike foul by Grillito.
That's not a good call. That's not a good call at all.
You want to give this man a hug.
Let's see that again. That was a big flop by Gutierrez. Big flop by Gutierrez.
And he's making the most of it by getting up gingerly and slowly.
Yeah.
I mean, he did lose control of his body. He was going to fall, but he made the most out of that fall.
Colmenares telling Jordan, hey, this is a tight game, man. You should think twice about making that call. And I agree.
See if he can cut down the lead. 2 shots and a possession. That's a costly one. We could have a tie game on this side of the court. Maybe Mexico in the lead before this is all said and done.
That might be a very crucial call in this game, although there's still 7 minutes to go in the game. 6:44 to be exact.
24 seconds now for Mexico. Goal hounded by Vargas. Oh, careful. He's got to get pressed. Half court. So behind the back. Ayon goes to the basket. Oh, no look pass. Ayon couldn't find the handle. Shoots. Misses. Rebounded by Graterol. Horns again. Guyan. A drive by Vargas. He traveled.
Nice move. I think he might have.
I thought he traveled, but it's a basket. And Venezuela now builds up to a 4-point lead. Oh, all the way in for Ayon. A nice fake by Vargas. Jump stop. And the floater doesn't work. Stoll gets it. No numbers for Mexico initially. Here comes Gutierrez. Oh, watch out! Venezuela, for the first time in this game, did not complete their defensive transition. And Mexico's hungry. A timeout by Nestor Che Garcia. Tie game at 63.
That was great transition offense by Mexico.
Four on 3. And Graterol just took a little walk to the defensive side. The first instruction from Nestor to John Cox is when we score and they inbound, there's got to be some contact. There's got to be slowing down of the Mexican offense going towards transitioning to offense. Wow, a warning for Ayon.
Yeah, what he's saying is that they are being able to spread the court and drive because they're not pushing, Venezuela is not pushing the offensive player before he starts moving. Now, that's very dangerous for Venezuela because right now the team fouls are 3-0 in favor of Mexico. Mexico hasn't committed a foul yet. And with a couple of calls on that kind of movement, Mexico can get in the bubble.
We also gave them options if they're guarding one-on-one, man-to-man. You do this if you're guard zone. Oh, an offensive foul by Graterol. Now, Nestor Garcia has gotten technical fouls in this tournament. When he feels the officiating, but he got one against Argentina at the close of that game. He's got to settle himself down.
Yeah, that's an illegal block. That's a foul.
Right. He opened up his stance. Look at this. Extra step.
No, he kept moving towards his left.
Gutierrez. Elbow jumper.
Hey, goodness.
Nice box out by Cox. Gutierrez couldn't even get to the ball. Tie game. Lots and lots of time to play.
And that's a foul of Gutierrez. That's the first team foul on Mexico in this last quarter.
The warning for Ayon was during the timeout.
He was talking to the referees during the timeout. Yeah. From the bench.
Rubillan drives against Ayon. Oh, fancy pass. Grillito. Short. Rebounded by Ayon.
They have numbers.
Back to Cruz. Stoll's begging for it, but Colmenares is denying him. So if Colmenares is guarding Stoll, who's got the matchup?
The ball should go to Stoll.
Hernandez, left-handed hook shot. And the ball goes out of bounds. Vargas, the last one to touch it.
Colmenares was guarding Stoll almost a half court. You give the ball to Stoll, you have time and space to just drive by the bigger guy.
Miguel Ruiz. Gregory Vargas will come in.
Because the other perceived advantage that they had was that Grillo Vargas, who is a small forward, was guarding a strong forward. But that's not so much of an advantage for
about even.
Yep.
13 to shoot. Trying to front Ayon. He gets it anyway. Turnaround shot. No good.
And look at that rebound by Ruiz.
The wingspan of Miguel Ruiz. Unreal. Wow. Gutierrez driving Cox to his left. He still gets to his right hand. Up and under. Blocked by Ayon, but also a foul by Gustavo, his third. And that is his team's second. On the shot. Cox found the way to go right.
Yes.
Cox already with 19 points to lead Venezuela. His father, Chubby, played in Venezuela for Team Beverly Hills in 1981 when he and his wife, Pam, who's Kobe's sister's mother, Kobe's mother's sister, I should say, was born. He also grew up in the Philadelphia area. Oh, a strip. Of course, Miguel Ruiz. Back to Vargas. Testing Ayon. 3:15 to go. Cox. Oh, it's his night. It is his night.
Although he's not shooting well from the free throw line. He's only 4 for 7 from the free throw line. But everything else he has done well.
Paco Cruz. He drives. He's got the position. Oh, he climbed Mount Ruiz.
Yes.
Over Miguel Ruiz.
He floated over the big guy. Although he's not that big, he's only 2 meters 2, less than 6'8".
Oh, the wingspan and the leaper.
And a leaper, right.
By the way, Ruiz is hovering in that baseline, and Ayón is absolutely ignoring him.
That's the two defense. It's like a zone, unless you're guarding the guy with the ball.
Possession arrow favors Venezuela. 2:28 to go.
They're going to check on...
How much time was left on the
yes,
shot?
on the shot clock. Because at the very same time that the ball got stuck between the rim and the backboard, the shot clock went off to 0.
You're going to get 1 second?
1 second to Venezuela.
1 second on the possession. The assistant coach, Caco Solorzano, standing up, and referees hate that. When assistants stand up and get involved.
Nice play!
And a foul by Mexico on the cut by Colmenares.
Very nice play. The screener knows that the guy who's guarding him has to hedge for a moment on the shooter. So he just goes to the basket right away, gets the pass, and he was fouled.
This time by Paul Stoles, Mexico's third. It was a shooting foul. A lot of back and forth among the Mexican players. Makes the first 2-point lead.
Colmenares 4 for 4 from the free throw line so far.
And already with a double-double. They nickname him La Bestia, the Beast. Short
on that one.
A hustle by Ruiz, back in the hands of Venezuela.
Good job by Colmenares.
10 seconds though, it's an offensive rebound, so you get 14 seconds on the reset. Oh, Gregory Vargas all the way in. 4-point lead.
Venezuela is only 2 minutes away from qualifying to the semifinals of this tournament.
A foul, but Gutierrez was passing at the time. But Venezuela commits his fifth. Doesn't matter. Same result. Carlos, in Venezuela they talk about the prowess and the achievement of 92. What do they mean by that?
Well, what happened was that even though they got beat by Brazil by about 40-something points in the first round.
This is 1992 Tournament of the Americas in Portland, Oregon.
They had to play the semifinals against Brazil, and they won that game against every other
expectations.
People thinking that they could do so. And then they played the Dream Team, the so-called Dream Team in the final, and they got blown out of the court, but they had the silver medal and the trip to the Olympics in 92 in Barcelona.
That's the only one they've had. They're looking for the second one, and I'm telling you right now, everybody is trying to get a sense of how good this team is. Well, you're getting the measure tonight. Win or lose, you're getting a measure of this team.
They call them the heroes of Portland.
Right.
Even though the final record was 4 wins and 3 losses. They lost to Brazil in the first round, to Puerto Rico.
Victor Diaz is on that team?
Yes, he was.
And Carl Herrera?
Yes, he was, yeah. Ivan Olivares. And all those great players from Sam Shepard. All those great players from that great generation.
These guys are trying to write a story that will be remembered as much and as well. Still a lot of game time.
And their lead is only 2 points.
Yep.
They still have some work to do.
Only 6 turnovers for Venezuela so far in the game. A floater by Guyani gets hammered.
See, that's what you have to do when you are a point guard being guarded by a big man. I say that because some players, what they do is that they say, okay, since he's going to give me space, I'm going to take a 3-point shot. No, make him guard you and take him to the hoop.
And you can dish or get fouled. This case by Hector Hernandez.
See, if this was Javi Gonzalez or J.J. Barea from Puerto Rico, they would have taken the 3-point shot instead of taking that guy to the basket. Whoop, to Villan. who's a very good free throw shooter, misses the first one.
Yeah, surprising. David is 27 years old. He missed most of Toronto, the Pan American Games, with a hamstring injury, of which is coming back, which is why his minutes have been reduced in this tournament.
He got injured in the first quarter of the first game.
And we should add, Carlos, we haven't said this, these teams met in their preparation, the run-up for the tournament, and Venezuela beat Mexico here on August 27th by 3, 64-61. That game was open to the public for free. 7,500 people showed up with very little publicity. Offensive foul. Gutierrez swimming with the open arm.
Gutierrez has been forcing the action a little bit, although he's Mexico's best scorer with 16 points, but he's been under a lot of pressure. Big possession for both teams right now.
Minute 10.
Huge.
A shot, the runner, short. Ruiz can't keep it. Hernandez grabs the rebound. Less than a minute to go. Stoll almost loses it against Vargas.
Good defense by Vargas right now.
A very high pick by Ayon. Inside to Gustavo, he cuts the lane, it's good! A 1-point difference and a timeout. Ayon thought that he kept the ball.
Oh, he heard the whistle and thought that they were calling a foul, but it was only a time. Oh, he stole the ball. He thought that he stole the ball. But you know, in FIBA basketball, the coach asked for the timeout at the scorer's table, so it was already given.
John, you get the ball. Miguel. Pick and roll. Y después del pick and roll, vas a traerlo a José Vargas. Colgarse en la esquina. Sí, pará.
Well, Coach Garcia diagramming the inbounds play. The ball is going to go to Cox. They're going to run a pick and roll, and more than a pick and roll, it's a pick for the ball handler, and then go away and screen for Vargas.
What a game last night by Mexico against Puerto Rico. What a game tonight against Venezuela. Unbeaten record on the line. Mexico wins, and essentially they punch their ticket to the semis. And they still do that anyway, but
yeah, I think they're in already, Alvaro.
But they really want to get this done.
But they don't want to finish it fourth in their group, I think.
They open up room for Cox.
Here's the pick, and then they're going to screen down for Vargas.
A drive, a tough shot, no good, and it's out of bounds. It belongs to Mexico. 18 seconds.
Yeah, and now Valdior Millos is going to call a timeout.
Nice drive by Cubillan.
Yeah, but they forced him left. That was good defense by Mexico, forcing Cubillan to go to his left.
A 1-point game.
essentially a pick and roll between Ayon and Gutierrez after all that movement.
A lot of movement.
Yeah, because they want to get people involved. Stoll is going to make like a long cut and finish at the corner. Hernandez is going to start in a stack with Ayon, but he's going to spread out. Paco Cruz, who's the inbounder, will stay out, and then they run a pick and roll between Gutierrez and Ayon.
And look who's guarding Stoll. It's Miguel Ruiz. And he denies him the ball, so Gutierrez has to come out to get it. Here's the pick. Great defense by Colmenares. He touches the ball. Oh, good adjustment by Gutierrez! Great adjustment, Gutierrez. Bobbled the ball in the air and made the basket. Timeout, Venezuela.
Yes, Colmenares tried to tip the ball from behind.
Look at that. Whoa.
He was able to tip the ball. For a moment, Gutierrez lost control of the ball, but he was able to gather it back and then take the shot with his right hand.
Mexico has its first lead since they were up 10-8 in the first quarter. Timeout, Venezuela. Well, we were kicked out. No admission to this club. They are supposed to give us access, but I guess I would understand, right?
No, I don't. I want to hear that.
What do you think? Let's play the guessing game. You're a coach.
I think one of his guards is going to drive to the basket, either with a pick and roll or just with a clear out, so that they can drive, create something. They don't need a three-pointer yet. They just need to get the ball to the basket as close as possible.
And if you're Los Niños and you're anticipating that, what are you telling your boys on defense?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult because you know that a two-pointer will beat you. So you want to put everybody in the paint, but then doing that, you may open a shot for somebody mid-range or for three-point range. A bucket will beat you. It doesn't matter if it's a three-pointer or a two-pointer.
Less than 9 seconds in regulation. Everybody standing up at El Palacio. Gregory. Switched. Drives. Strong hand. Tough shot. No good. And a foul on Gutierrez by Colmenares. Mexico can ice the game and remain unbeaten.
Like I said, they are already in the semifinals. Venezuela was looking to get to the semifinals with a win here. That was a tough shot by Gregory Vargas. Very tough. Good defense by Hernandez, who had to switch. Then the rebound by Gutierrez.
The Minister of Sport of Mexico, sitting half court, standing up on his seat, hands on his head, in disbelief. What? I think we've made a basketball fan out of the Ministry of Sport in Mexico.
And I think that if this result holds, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico live another day.
They do. Making this free throw could truly make it very difficult for Venezuela, if not impossible. Mexico would almost have to cooperate. Gutierrez so far has made every single one of his 7 free throws. Every one. Make that 8 for 8. Pressure. Colmenares. 1 second. It's over! It's over! Mexico beats Venezuela 73-70, and they have basically locked up a spot in the semifinals as they remain unbeaten at home in the 2015 Olympic qualifier. What a game! What a game by Venezuela!
Hey, very good job by assistant coach Solórzano. Caco Solórzano made sure, even though his team is dejected, right? They are angry they let this win get by them. He made sure, hey, go back and congratulate your opponent.
As they huddle in the middle of the court, Venezuela should get a rousing round of applause here from the Mexican, and they do actually. The Mexican fans cheer them away as now the Mexican team huddles up in midcourt. Los 12 Guerreros, the 12 Warriors, pull one out. 73-70, what a game. Look at that last quarter, leaving Venezuela, allowing only 13 points to Venezuela.
Another game where Venezuela shoots very poorly from the three-point range, and their free throw line wasn't their friend either, and now they are losing a very important player for the next two games.
Yeah, Javinger Vargas, literally leaping like a kangaroo, as you see in the bottom of your screen on the right, all the way to the locker room. He shouldn't have to do that.
No, I wonder what's the wheelchair.
Yes. Rebounding battle about even. The turnovers. Look at Venezuela, Carlos. 1 turnover in the first half and only 5 in the second half. Unbelievable. A credit to their guards. 22 points for John Cox, his best game in the tournament by far. Cubillan playing extremely well. Vargas, each of the backcourt players for Venezuela. Ayon having a very tough game. Interesting move to rest Ayon at the outset of the third quarter. It paid off.
It did. I mean, it gave him at least 20 minutes of rest.
We take a look at Juan Anderson Toscano struggling. Mexican comeback. The rim began to loosen up. What was our putback? Last 3 points by Venezuela. Again, the beginning, the first spark, the first sign of life from Mexico. This is when we kept thinking that Venezuela sluggish in the last all game, but it didn't really show up in the fourth quarter. Look at this. Arriaga making a shot. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, he says. And then
every single night post over.
Breaks every scheme. Vargas. Nice. Gregory ended up with 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. One with the putback again. With 14 points, 11 3 assists. Gielich with 20 points, but cutting it on. Very difficult. This is the stuff. That's why they won 73-70. Unresponsible for this action behind any resources See you again tomorrow.
Así es, muchachos, nosotros nos encontramos acá en el tabloncillo del Palacio de los Deportes, bueno, con un sabor agridulce. Duele perder de esta forma. Tenemos acá a David Cubillan, uno de los mejores de Venezuela en este encuentro. David, ¿Qué pasa en estos momentos por la mente de ustedes luego de tener tan cerca la victoria?
Sí, bueno, bastante frustrante, ya que hicimos un buen partido, jugamos muy buena defensa y bueno, al final hubieron algunas jugadas donde no capitalizamos y bueno, México se llevó el partido.
David, cuando se pierde de esta forma, no es por culpar a los árbitros, ni mucho menos, pero hubo ciertas decisiones arbitrales allí que no es por, volvemos y repetimos, por culpar a los árbitros, pero sí sacan de concentración a los jugadores.
No sé, en realidad no estaba pendiente, no vi esas situaciones. Yo pienso que nosotros tuvimos la oportunidad de ganar. Hoy no se pudo, pero bueno, sabemos que todavía nos quedan 2 partidos y vamos a seguir luchando como lo hemos venido haciendo.
Ahora, psicológicamente, David, ¿cómo para ustedes pasar la página y vienen juegos contra Uruguay y Panamá que son importantísimos?
Sí, bueno, nosotros, como te lo dije anteriormente, es bastante frustrante el partido de hoy, ya que le queríamos ganar a un equipo de México que está invicto. Pienso que jugamos 35 minutos de muy buen baloncesto, pero ya bueno, este torneo es así. Mañana tenemos otro partido, hay que pasar la página, el juego de mañana es súper importante para nosotros y bueno, ya enfocarnos en Uruguay.
Por último, David, ese mensaje al pueblo venezolano que se siente como tú, se nota en la cara esa frustración y bueno, por no poder haber ganado este partido.
Sí, bueno, nada, que nosotros, como ellos se dieron cuenta, nosotros hicimos todo lo posible por ganar, batallamos hasta el último momento y bueno, el baloncesto es así, es lamentable porque sabíamos lo que nos estábamos jugando contra México, que es un gran equipo, pero bueno, ya nosotros tratar de pasar la página y enfocarnos para mañana.
Mensaje entonces de David Cubillán, le damos las gracias por estar acá. A toda Venezuela, muchachos, nosotros vamos a volver con ustedes allá a Caracas y rápidamente regresamos acá al tabloncillo del Palacio de los Deportes porque Meche Celta le tiene una entrevista con Jock Cox. Adelante.
I know, that's the reason I was keeping you waiting.